In reading today's gospel, I could not help but be reminded of my time spent in chaplaincy at Children's Hospital. It was very different from what chaplaincy usually means, especially in a hospital setting, because the vast majority of my time was not spent with patients. It was spent with the parents of very sick and horrifically injured children and infants. And like the bleeding woman in today's gospel, their lives had come to center around the notion of healing. Nothing else in the world mattered, not jobs or other duties or paying bills, or even, unfortunately, at times, their other children who were well. These parents poured all that they were into caring for and ensuring the best care for their children. And too often they were steeped in a faith that was unhelpful to this relationship with God and one another. A popular faith that is common in America today, one that says, God does not give you more than we can handle. Or when a door closes, God opens a window. Or if you pray hard enough, God will give you whatever you ask for. None of this is helpful. None of this is how God works. None of this is supported by our scriptures. And for those with critically ill or injured children, it is destructive. Too often it was these aphorisms that were most harmful to these parents' faith, and they took away an opportunity for true faith. Rather than allowing them to build their relationship with God on relationship, the very identity of a God who is triune, these aphorisms encouraged a transactional relationship. If you pray hard enough and are good enough, then God will save your child. And if not, well, God will kill an innocent child to punish you. And when, as so often happens in these cases, the child did die and continued to struggle to heal for months or even years, his parents would lose their faith in God. Watching their child suffer and even die, and putting your own life on hold for months or even years to try to save them and to comfort them is a heartbreaking process. Very often it is more than a person or a marriage can handle. And yes, there are always new opportunities and learning that can come from even the worst of circumstances in this world. But that does not make the loss of a child any easier. And putting it on God that one directly leads to the other is cruel to the parents and destructive to their relationship with God. And I'm not saying that when a parent loses a child, they do not have the right to be angry with God. They absolutely do. And throughout the scriptures, and most especially in the Psalms, we see that God is willing to be the target of this anger and reacts with compassion and love to it. But that is precisely the point. God is not there to make the imperfections, sinfulness, or awfulness that are inherent in a world of free will and otherness from God stop being. God is with us here and now to walk through those imperfections, sinfulness, and awfulness together. To be that friend to which we can pour out our hearts when life seems unbearable, the one we can scream and cry at when our hearts are breaking, the one who is with us when no one else can be or is willing to be. God is here to be the one who knows us more deeply than anyone else can or does, and who knows our pain and is there to carry some of it for us. Sometimes a miracle will happen. And someone like the 12-year-old girl in today's gospel who seems past the point of healing will be restored to health. More frequently, you'll be in relationship with a God that is as the girl's father asked Jesus to be. Just someone to be with him when all hope has been lost. Either way, God is present and alive amongst us and reaching out to bring love and healing into our lives if we let them in. Amen.